And a very warm welcome to the podcast, Dr. Nayan Patel. How are you today, Dr. Nayan?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Wonderful. So, unfortunately, this is what pretty much is the most fun part of the podcast before we get into the serious stuff. And guests seem to like answering this, but where are you right now on planet Earth?
I'm in Southern California.
Okay,
Um,
so Southern California, in terms of if you were to give a review of somebody wanting to live there or somebody going on holiday, sell it. Sell Southern California. Go for
uh, we need your money, so please come by.
it. Is it that bad? Is it okay?
Is it? No, it's amazing. It's beautiful weather year round. It's perfect temperature today. It's normally between anywhere between 70 to 95 degrees most of the year round. So it's pretty pretty even in terms of the temperature. I don't have, I only wear jackets because I like the feeling of having wearing a jacket, but otherwise there's no need to have a jacket ever
All
over
right,
here.
okay. And in terms of like, I mean, for lifestyle wise, I mean, you mentioned the temperature there, but what would you do other than working, I'm assuming, on a daily basis if you wanted to relax? I mean, can you go to the beach? Can you go to the
So
pool?
yeah, from my place, I can probably go to probably about six or seven different types of beach, which is probably within 20 to 30 minutes, everything.
Okay,
So
very nice.
it's very close by. Some of them are like literally 10 minutes away. So it's very relaxing in that sense, but it does get crowded pretty much during the summertime. It gets very crowded because especially if the school is out, all the kids are over there, right? They
How
they,
dare
they
they?
love the sand. So sometimes it's better to just go hit some golf balls and just go to the golf course. Pretty quiet and it's nice. There are lots and lots of golf courses over here, so that's it's and plus you can pretty much play any day, right? Of the year. There's
You've
no
sold it. You've sold it. I'm on my way. Okay, I have my
yes.
ticket is booked, and I'm on my. Everybody, let's go to Southern California. Let's do it. Um, so Dr. Naya, I gave a little introduction. What you call it about yourself. So can you let the listeners know a little bit more about your background? Go back as far as you want, because I know there's a lot of kind of you're a pharmacist. You then moved on to other areas. So let the listeners know a little bit more about yourself.
Absolutely. So, it's like when you're a young kid, you're very idealistic. You think you can conquer the world and you're set out to make a difference in life. And I was one of those ambitious kids as well myself and wanted to to gain the knowledge that I need to literally help people with the medication needs. Uh, but as soon as you graduate, the world kind of hits at you. I say, no, wait a second. You're not going to change the world. You're going to follow what we are doing for you, and you're going to stay within your lane. And so that I quite quickly realized that the medication world, there's no interest in saving people from the medication. The interest is only managing people's problems for the rest of your life so that we can make money off of you. And it was very disheartening in that sense that, wait a second, you gain all this knowledge and hopefully you can figure out a cure or a prevention of some diseases, and all you can do is just manage people's problems for the rest of your life. And so that's my journey kind of took a twist at that point. My mom passed away in 1999, early 2000s, and that kind of put me on a different trajectory. So, you know what? I got to do something different, this is not something that I want to spend the rest of my life trying to just peddle drugs all day long and just help people with the medication needs, but really try to figure out if are there medications that can solve people's problems, and not solving the problems from like managing your symptoms, but literally getting rid of the problem in the first place. And so that's when my journey really started doing that. And so I moved from pharmacy. I'm still a pharmacist, by the way. I'm still have a pharmacy. I still work in a chemist and a pharmacy, all those things. But my 99% of my time is outside the pharmacy in an R&D lab, trying to figure out different ways, different molecules that I can use to basically give control back to your body. At the end of the day, your body is your best medicine. Everything that we need to survive is inside our body. My job is to just to figure out what that molecule is, and either I can enhance it by diet, it can enhance it by some machines, or just replace it by from outside sources to put it back inside your body. Something that needs to be done to give the control back to the body. And once the control is to the body will fix itself. It's like when you get a cut, right? When you get a cut and you put some sticker on it, the sticker is not healing is not building all the new tissues. The body is doing all the work,
Yeah.
right?
It,
And
it's
so
it's nice the way you say that because I think it's I was going to ask there like when you were dispensing these medicines and it's just kind of hiding the symptoms is it kind of covering up like a plaster as you mentioned just there. It's not actually healing. So when you give these tablets and you dispense these tablets, it's actually just probably like a paracetamol or an ibuprofen. It's all it's doing is pretty much just hiding the pain rather than kind of healing it. Is that right?
that's exactly what I'm talking about. We don't want to hide the problem. We want to get rid of the problem. And better yet, if the body is equipped with every single thing that it needs, the problem will not happen in the first place. It's like when you're a 20-year-old kid, you can jump all you want and you can do whatever you want and nothing will happen to you. Even if you get even if you get hurt, you'll bounce back right away. The next morning, you're back to normal and like nothing ever happened to you yesterday. And so, what happens when you're 60 and 70, and all of a sudden you got hurt, and all of a sudden that's the end of you sometime. Or sometime it can last you for 6 months to a year before it gets healed. And in most cases, it never heals again. And so, what is that the body needs to heal itself is what I'm looking at right now.
So can I go back just a little bit, just in case anybody's interested in pursuing a career, in pharmacy or any other part of the medical field? I mean, where did you go to university or college? And how difficult was it? Because you'd like to give kind of reality check, because I know in Ireland, for example, we have a thing called the Leaving Cert, and you
Uh-huh.
need to score pretty high to get into the medical field. And I'm sure that's the same in the States or anywhere else on the planet. But how tough was it for you? Were you kind of like a bookworm? Were you okay with studying? Was this an interest and a passion from a young age?
It was unfortunate. It's one of those things, right? So I went to undergrad in California, uh, and it requires 4 years of undergrad program before you go to grad school. And I did my 2 years of undergrad, and I was like a straight A student. So basically, I just figured out, you know what? Let me apply. The minimum requirement to for any grad school application is a 2 years of minimum, but nobody accepts you as a 2 year. They want you to finish your undergrad and then come back because then you're a little bit mature enough to deal with the world.
Right,
So 2 years of undergrad, I applied to the pharmacy school, and of course they didn't reject me right away, but they said, well, why don't you finish up your college first, right? And so I said, fine, I'll just keep on doing it. And it just so happened that on during the summertime, I got a letter from the university that, hey, we have accepted you in the College of Pharmacy. And so I was the youngest kid in my class, being
wow,
barely being 18 or 19 or something like that, and youngest kid in the class in the postgraduate program. And of course, I went to USC. USC, University of Southern California, is the top two school in the nation. Uh, I could have gone anywhere else with my 2 years of education, but I really wanted to go to USC, so I only applied to one college.
right,
Uh, and I got accepted, so I started my journey over there. When I graduated, was not easy. Let me put it this way: it was not easy. I was struggling because I didn't have my undergrad degrees. I didn't have the anatomy, the physiology, the basic courses that you need to go to the grad program. I didn't have those done yet, so
right.
I had to work extra hard to basically come to the starting point versus
Okay.
all the kids, all the kids were already the starting point and moving forward. And so it was a little difficult in the sense the first year or so, but I hung in there with all my classmates and still able to graduate with honors.
And looking back now, if you were to go back in time, would you tell your younger self to do anything different of how the whole process actually happened for you to get
So
qualified?
I would not have done anything different. I just would have stayed 2 extra years in under school, like undergraduate, uh, and just had fun.
Right. Okay.
Because once you graduate, then the reality sits in, right? Because I was 24 with a postgraduate doctor degree,
Right.
uh, and it wasn't one of those things that I was not mature enough to deal with it yet. I don't think so. And so I would just stay extra couple of more years in college, just enjoy life.
Is it true? I mean, I've had different guests on podcasts. I've gone through like the medical field. Is it true that when you finish and you get your qualification, that you don't know anything? Because the reason they say this, I don't mean you don't know anything, but because then you have to go out in the real world. And that's when eventually you put that kind of piece of paper to work. It's kind of like a license to say, okay, now you can get into the real world to actually, do medicine. Would you agree or disagree in your own opinion?
And oh, you're absolutely correct. But as soon as you graduate, you think you know every single thing, but in reality, you do not know. You know a lot of stuff about little things, but you're not going to know everything. Uh, and I've been in 30 years in my career, 29 years in my career. I still not know everything.
Right,
And so it's an ever learning process. And uh, the the best doctors that are out there are the one that realize very early on that the learning never stops.
right. That's good.
If the learning never stops, then it's every day it's a journey for you, right? So I'm learning new things every single day. Right now, the biggest trend is using stem cells all over the world. And I'm trying to figure out how stem cells going to help us. Stem cells is something that we need when you're a baby to build the body, but the body's already built out. Now there's nothing more to build. And so why do we need the stem cells? What's broken out there that needs stem cells help to be broken to fix those issues for us? So I'm trying to do more and more research, trying to figure that portion out, and how can I make it enhancement in stem cells, regenerating capacity that the stem cells have. How can I enhance it in humans? So, anyways, always a learning process, and the best advice I can give to anybody that is starting off in the career is to make sure that you celebrate your graduation, but the graduation is only get you to the starting lineup.
Right.
The race hasn't begun yet.
Yeah.
It just gets you to the starting lineup. Now, based on your preparation, you can figure out how fast you can run. You know, you can be slow, you can be fast, but keep in mind that every step you take, you are adjusting, you're improvising, you're learning, and when you cross the finish line, it's probably the last day on this planet for you, anyways. So enjoy the journey.
And that's great advice. It's what did they say? Was it fail to prepare, prepare to fail, or
That's right.
something like that? Yeah.
That's
Okay.
right.
So in terms, you just mentioned stem cells there, and I've had other guests on before, kind of chatting about this, but we won't touch on stem cells specifically. But when you finished all this college education, you mentioned then, you were dispensing, and it was kind of like the drugs were not healing, so to speak. And you mentioned you were in
Huh?
one lane. You're in just this lane, and there's no view outside of these two lanes. How frustrated were you in terms of having to deal with that kind of environment?
The frustration only comes because you think uh, that your viewpoint is the correct viewpoint,
Okay.
and people should be listening to you, right? Uh, I don't get frustrated anymore about those kinds of things. I
Okay.
just go with the flow, because the thing is, as much as we think we know about human body, we haven't scratched the surface yet.
Right.
And this is when I realized when I first discovered glutathione as a master antioxidant, the most abundant peptide that the body produces. 140 years, nobody knew how to get it inside your body in the first place. We thought we knew how to do it. We were injecting people. We are giving some technological advanced products, but it really never entered the human cells ever. And
So,
so now that we have that, we have the learning has just begun yet. If we haven't, we don't even know where this is going to end up right now.
so how did you? I mean, you can pronounce it more. You can pronounce it better than me. I thought it was a glutathione. Is that right?
Yes,
Glutathione.
huh?
So, why did that little spark go in your head that I need to concentrate on this? Well, what happened?
Well, the thing is, this was back 25 plus years ago. Uh, when people ask me, this was, I mean, keep in mind the biggest revolution we had in the United States back in 1999 was something called anti-aging. People want to live forever, right? Forever young is what the term was. And my clientele list were pretty well off to begin with. And so they come and ask me and say, hey, I got plenty of money. Do you have something for anti-aging products? Right? Can you research on something on anti-aging because I will live in perpetuity forever? I said, okay. What is so then I look at back and said, there's no drugs outside that's going to help you for sure. So I got to look inside your own body.
Yeah.
And inside our own body, the number one molecule that we produce internally is glutathione. It's the three amino acid coming peptides coming together, three amino acid chain coming together to create so one of the simplest peptide. And it is most abundantly produced. The two things that we cannot survive without is air and water. We don't produce air and water. We breathe air, we drink water, right? But then after that, the third most abundant thing inside our body is glutathione. And so the question is that, well, why do we produce so much? Does
And
everybody produce enough?
and
And so that's what my research started. And if you look back on the articles, I mean, today you can search engines and put your AI robots, all kinds of information. They will tell you what the glut has been studied on. 140 years, 70,000 plus research trials ever conducted on any one molecule particular. It's the most abundantly studied molecule in the world, right? We study so much, but we never had the technology to actually enhance your body's own production.
right.
So it's like, yeah, the research it's not wasted, but we need to do more work still today. And that was my question, right? As much as the knowledge have advanced, we haven't even scratched the surface yet. Because now we were able to basically enhance the glutathione levels intracellularly for the very first time using our technology. And now the research has just begun in the sense, right?
So
And
what is it, Dr. Knight, that all these all this research or articles could be online, but yet
huh?
we don't hear much about it.
I'm sorry, one more time. What's the last part?
So there's so much research
Uh-huh.
available and information available. Why is it then that we don't readily hear about it on like media channels to say this is a positive outcome, this is something that you should be using? Give me your opinion or your bluntest answer.
So the research is done on a subpar products. If you do a subpar product and you do research on that product, and if it doesn't work, what's the news over there? Nothing.
Yeah.
So in theory, it makes sense. In theory, it sounds like the most amazing thing that's ever we need to have in our body. But in research, it doesn't show up
Okay.
because it's, for example, you're in Ireland, right?
Yep.
So you have euros.
Yes.
I'm born in Zambia, Africa. So we have over there we have kwachas. That's a currency.
Okay.
Let's say if I give you $1 million worth of kwachas to you and tell you go to Ireland and go knock yourself out.
No idea. I'd have no idea
No
of the,
idea.
of the value of it.
There's nothing you can buy. There's nothing you can buy because that currency does not work in Ireland,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So if you have, if you your body needs glutathione and you're making this technology a product that doesn't enter your cells, you can give as much as you want, but if it doesn't get there, it's useless.
Right. Okay.
So people have done injections, right? You assume that if you inject something in the bloodstream, my job is done because guess what? The blood's going to transport this molecule all over the body, and the body's just going to suck it up because the body needs it.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't
Okay.
work. Even injection does not work because there was a research study in 1991 when they injected this glutathione into the bloodstream. Guess what they found out? All the glutathione stayed in the plasma part of the blood, which is the water part of the blood. The plasma gets filtered by the kidneys in 5 to 15 minutes, and all the glutathione was dumped into the urine in 5 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
Gone.
Right.
And so just because you got it inside your body doesn't mean it got to where it's supposed to be, which is in the intracellular levels by the mitochondria. With this is where everything is happening. All your chemical reactions, your mitosis, the regeneration of new cells and new tissues, everything is happening intracellularly, and you cannot get there.
And what are the, well, what would you say, what are the so-called benefits of it?
So, um, as of right now, the two or three things that we do know about glutathione is, first of all, it quenches free radicals. Now, what are free radicals? Free radicals, you breathe oxygen. Oxygen is good and bad. You need oxygen to survive, but too much of oxygen can also cause something called reactive oxygen species, which is the word itself says reactive. And those reactive species is basically damaging your whole body from inside.
Okay.
So that so that the electrical charge that's on this oxygen molecule has to be neutralized. And for that to neutralize, we need antioxidants to take the charge away. And so there's three things that we can do. One is uh, you can take some vitamin C, vitamin E, CoQ10, all the products that are externally available. Drink some orange juice, and there's so much different products in the world available that tells you that hey, this is an antioxidant. That's one thing you can do. The number two things the body produces internally three enzymes. One is called catalase. Second is superoxide dismutase, is SOD for short. The third thing is glutathione peroxidase, or GPX for short. These enzymes can also quench free radicals.
Okay.
And the third thing the body does is produce abundantly glutathione, one molecule. And let me just tell you a secret. If you combine all the molecules in the world, vitamin C, vitamin E, and all those things, you can combine all the enzymes in the world that the body produces. Those two combined, glutathione by itself is more powerful in reducing all the free radicals outside your body. And if there's no free radicals, guess what? Your body doesn't age ever. Imagine a nail that is rusted. Once it's rusting, rusting is what? Oxidation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So before it gets rusted, it's still getting oxidized
Yes.
every single day. But until the rust develops, it's still pretty useful. But the one that once you get rusted, and if you don't fix it, guess what? The whole thing will get all brittle and go away, right? So
Yes.
the question is, glutathione it actually prevents from oxidation, prevents the rusting of your whole body from inside out.
And
That's one.
and who should we? Oh, sorry, go ahead. Continue there. I'm going to ask you a question in a few moments.
So
Continue.
that's one.
Yeah.
There's a second function is that it also aids in the process of elimination of all the chemicals and toxic metals and things like that. So what it does is that glutathione helps conjugate in your liver with chemicals, metabolites, heavy metals, things like that, and helps them get rid of it from your body. So just to give you an example, every day when you wake up, by the time you get up and brush your teeth and shower and all those things, you're exposing yourself to literally 70 different chemicals every morning.
Okay.
By the time the day is over, by the end of the day, you've exposed yourself to at least 150, if not more, different types of chemicals that your liver has to process and get rid of it every day, right?
Frightening. Yeah.
It's frightening, right? But at the same time, without the nutrients that your body needs to survive on, uh, they don't come by itself. They come with some strings attached. They comes with some extra chemicals in the processing of those things. If you eat everything fresh, right? Fresh vegetables and all those things, then you have very little exposure.
Yes.
Only exposure you have is whatever is inside the soil. The materials get reabsorbed into the fruits and vegetables, and you eat that heavy metals, and you get something out of it, but not a whole lot, right? Trace amounts, not a whole lot. But in the modern day society, we spray with pesticides and we spray with things that doesn't die on you, some preservatives and things like that. And maybe like in California, we grow all the vegetables in California, so we're okay. But other parts of the United States, like in New York, they have to import all the vegetables from other parts of the world,
Yes.
right? And so it will get to the colder parts of the world, but doesn't come fresh. It comes preserved. So
Yeah.
all those chemicals have to be are ingested, and you have the body has to detoxify. Two things. If those two things are out of your body, guess what? The body doesn't age.
Okay, that see, this is fascinating, because I love all this type of stuff. But I mean, is how would you say, is there backlash to this? Because
So yeah,
like our criticism, because obviously, when something is said to be wonderful and can do wonderful things, and I mean, what have you had any backlash in relation to this before we progress on to the other questions?
so the only backlash that we have received from people is that sometimes, because most of the people that come to us are been sick for a while.
Okay,
They have been toxic for a while. And when you take, even this is good for you, guess what happens? Your body is unleashing all those toxic chemicals outside your body really, really fast.
right,
And when you release something super fast, the body gets, oh wow, this is not normal. So have some reactions to it too. And so yeah, you may have some mild reactions for about 2 to 4 weeks. Everything will subside down, and only thing that's after that is just progress. But you asked me a question about is there any backlash from the medical community of
yes,
other people talking about these things? And as of today, the answer is no. I have people have challenged my technology. People have challenged me on my research and work. And once I tell them what I have created, I have not come across not a single human being as of right now that have challenged me that this thing doesn't work.
do you think, Dr. Nyan, that the public or people that's coming to you that have been sick for a long time, that have been using traditional medicines, are just so fed up that they're willing to try anything at this moment in time? I mean, even like stem cells. I mean, it's. Did you get that vibe?
Well, yes and no, right? I do get the vibe that people are sick and tired of the medical system in the whole world, not just United States or Ireland. It's everywhere. The medical system is what should I say? It's not sacred,
Yeah.
right? It's to a point where we're doing a lot of guesswork, and we give you something. Hey, if it works for you, David, this thing worked for you. Amazing, you're done. Go away, right?
Okay. Yeah.
If it doesn't work for you, well, I don't know why it did not work for you. So let me try something else. So it's all about trial and error the whole time. The best diagnostic doctors in the world are good at diagnosing what the problem might be. But if once they know that what the problem might be, so many times they don't have a solution for it
Yes.
or I don't know what the solution is. You think what the solution is because you're looking at what happened right before that, but you have no idea how far you can go back where the first problem first started. Because there's a chain reaction that happens, and by the time you feel a problem, it has probably gone through a whole bunch of chain reaction. If this happens, then this happens. If this happens, then this happens. This happens, then this happens. And eventually you get, oh, then I got diabetes or cancer or blood pressure or whatever, right? And most doctors are able to go back maybe 1 or 2 steps, not 10, for sure not 100 steps behind.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so my thing is that most consumers are fed up because if they feel a little better, they go back to the old behaviors.
Yes. That's
Oh,
true.
this
That's true.
thing
Yeah.
this thing worked for my brother or for my sister or for my spouse or whatever. So it should work for me too. Everybody's different. Everybody's exposure is different. Everybody eats different food. The only variable you have every single day is things that you're exposed to and the things that you put in your mouth,
Yeah.
right? Those are the only two things that are different in every single human being on this planet, right? And based on those two things, you cannot take a single medication and work for every single body.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
That's education, though, again, isn't it? Of somebody
It's
wanting to find out the information.
It is education, and I'm the living proof of it because I'm literally doing this every single day, right? I'm trying to figure out, and I'm not trying to become a superhuman, but I'm trying to figure out if I have a problem, where is the problem coming from? Can I fix it temporarily, put a band-aid on so some problems I don't see the problem? Or do I want to go deeper inside and see if I can send all the healing components to my cut so it can heal the cuts from inside out, right? There's no scar remaining. There's a scar that means it didn't heal properly, whatever, right? I'm trying to figure all those things out. And the molecule that I'm using is glutathione is because it is the most abundant molecule, again, produced in the human body. And as much as we know, we haven't even scratched the surface yet. I did a clinical trial in California at a university over here. I didn't do the trial. The professors at the university did a trial on them. What they did was they applied the glutathione topic. It's a topical product. So they apply it on topically on your arms and the bellies. They drew the blood, took the blood in the test tube, infected the blood with Mycobacterium infection. Mycobacterium infection has no cure in the world today.
Right.
That's the number one cause of death in patients with HIV, right? It's the infections. So they took the Mycobacterium infection, infected the blood with it. Of course, they took patients with the glutathione, without the glutathione, and compared them. The one with the glutathione, within 1 hour, they saw a reduction in the mycobacterial load in the body, in the blood.
That's
It just
fascinating.
tells you, it's just fascinating because
Yeah.
what I learned from there is I said, okay, if it went down in 1 hour, so they waited for 3 days, they took the blood after 3 days and put through mass spec to see what kind of inflammatory markers or immune markers have they been secreting. And what they found out was in 3 days later that the body, the test tube with the glutathione in there had all kinds of immune markers activated to the highest level.
Right.
Interleukin 2, interleukin 12, interferon gamma, TNF alpha. These are all the cytokines that your body produces to fight with the problems.
So, I mean, can I ask, how old are you, Dr. Naya? And oh, my two
Oh,
questions are, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 54 right now.
Wow, okay, you don't look 54. And can I ask you, do you take glutathione?
Oh, I've been taking, so, okay. I discovered this in 2007, 15, 17 years ago.
Okay.
I did not believe in my own product, of course,
Yeah.
right? Because it was too good to be true at that time. I said, I can do my own studies. I did not release the product to the public until 2021. It took me 14 years of research to try to figure out how much to give, how often to give, how long can I give it to you for? Am I going to get good results? Am I going to get problems with it? I had so many questions. I had more questions than answers at that time. So I started taking continuously every single day uh, right before the pandemic, 2019.
Okay.
So it's been about 6 years I've been taking regularly. In that 6 years, I have 1 year in between. I stopped it. I don't know why. I just stopped it. This is 2022 or 23. I 1 year completely stopped the whole year. I forgot to take it. Then I got too busy because I was doing podcasting, I was news, TV interviews, and all kinds of things. Every single day I was doing something, and it just out of mind, right?
Yeah.
And then one day I realized, oh my God, I feel sluggish and tired. And I started taking it again. And within 1 week, my all my energy came back. Everything started making everything back to normal. So now I'll never stop using it again.
I mean, you're looking at the camera here. You're compared to my skin. Geez, your skin is glowing, and you don't
Oh, thank
look.
you.
No, but honestly, and it's kind of like it's kind of had me quite jealous, right? Because I use all these expensive moisturizer creams, but they're a waste of money. No, but generally, you can see it. Your face is glowing. And if anybody's watching this podcast, you'll see, you're 54 years of age, you're very healthy, and especially with the job you have as well, which I'm sure is quite stressful, it's quite tiring.
Very stressful. Yep.
So you need something there to keep you going, So who would you recommend this to? I mean, who should be
So
taking this?
I think that's a great question, but I would like to answer this question differently.
Yeah.
What can we do to enhance glutathione levels for the rest of our lives? Because nobody needs to buy a product to do that work. I know people are lazy and they will do that. Just it's easy for them to buy a product and just use it.
Yeah,
But what I'm going to give you the answer is a little bit different, is to the way you enhance glutathione levels, and your body starts producing glutathione since the day you're born. Okay, and you never stop until the day you die. So it produces all the time. Okay, so just let me make sure they understand that if your body can produce every single day of your life, and if you have to take a product, that means your lifestyle doesn't suit you.
yeah,
Okay. So the number one thing, the first thing you got to do is it's like it's my grandpa used to tell me all the time. You don't need more money to survive. What you have to do is you reduce your expenses. So you don't need more glutathione. What you do is reduce the expenses that eats up all your glutathione. Reduce exposure to chemicals, pollution, pesticides, fertilizers, whatever chemicals that you expose to on a daily basis. By the way, this is going to be a blow to all the Irish people. Uh, one drink of alcohol, one drink can deplete the glutathione levels to zero for the next 3 to 4 hours,
wow.
right?
What
The
about
body will
smoking? What about smoking or vaping? Because
Smoking
a
is
lot of,
smoking is the same thing. Smoking is the same thing. Vaping is different because vaping is a little bit more purified.
right,
But the thing is, it's also, I mean, vaping is not made in pharmaceutical labs where everything is sterile.
yeah,
So
it's a
yeah, I
chemical
don't.
again, isn't it?
It's still all chemicals.
Yeah,
So vaping and actually smoking is probably the worst as well because smoking has a lingering effect for a long time. With alcohol, you're only there for a few hours, but the smoking, you've been there for a few years,
yes,
right? So smoking is even worse. But yeah, even one drink of alcohol can wipe your glutathione levels for 3 to 4 hours. And so then the body will recuperate and produce more glutathione. But keep in mind, as you start aging, your ability to recuperate goes down dramatically,
yeah,
right? When you are a 20-year-old at the pub, you can drink as much as you want and you'll wake up the next day.
yes,
When you're 60 or 70, a couple of drinks and then the next morning you have a massive headache and you're not the same person anymore,
yeah,
right? And so those are kind of reduce your expenses. That's the number one thing. Number two things, you have to have your diet in your diet, you should have those three amino acids coming into your diet every single day because those amino acids will help build up all the glutathione in your body. And these amino acids are not essential amino acids. So that means you have to consciously have focus in your diet. The number one thing you need is cysteine. Cysteine is an amino acid. Again, you can put in your favorite search engine or your AI robot. It'll tell you, give me cysteine-rich foods, and you get your vegetarian choices, your vegan choices, your meat eaters, your carnivores, your omnivores, everything. There's all these choices available. Make sure you have that food every single day, not just once in a while, every single day, right? And so that's number two things you do is to have your food give the nutrients your body needs to produce its own glutathione. If you can stop the expenses and have a body's ability to produce more glutathione, it becomes self-sustaining. But then guess what? Nobody's perfect,
no,
right? I can be really good for a month, 2 months, maybe a year, but then one day comes, you know what? It's okay to have some ice cream. It's okay to have some indulge in some bad behavior, right?
yeah,
And I'm guilty of it too myself. And I will indulge in some bad behaviors, and I'll pay the price the same day, or if not the next day for sure, right? And so people forget that life you can live a long time without having a disease if you just take care of your body. But people forget that the body's going to be there forever. So, anyways, so that's two things you do.
yeah,
The third thing is you need glutathione. Now, do you ever need glutathione? The answer is no. If you do reduce expenses down and eat the right proper diet, up until 30, 35, you got no problem. The body can produce enough, right? We live in this modern society where you cannot get rid of all the modern day conveniences. We are so conveniently available with every single thing, right?
Yeah.
I drive a Tesla car, right? And so the battery, I just do my testing, and guess what? My blood is shows high in cadmium.
Oh wow. Okay.
Where's the cadmium coming from? From the car,
Or
from the
yeah.
batteries. So shoot. I mean, I've been driving Tesla for 9 years now. I said, oh my God, no wonder my cadmium levels are so high, right?
You're turning into
And
a
again,
battery.
yeah, it's coming from the battery because I'm sitting on the battery every single day.
Yeah.
Uh, and so I can't get rid of this, right? So I have to have something to help detoxify all these heavy metals outside my body on a daily basis. And so after the age of 35, 30, 35, for sure 40, nobody has perfect levels of glutathione. So at that point, you need to have supplementation.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's only one supplement that actually does work, which is the one we created, right? All the other supplements, it basically is you'll be better off just eating the foods, and you'll get the same results.
And I mean, actually, I want to ask you this quick question before we move on, just in
Yeah.
case anybody's kind of interested in knowing this. Do you know when you dispense some medication to an individual, and you kind of touched on it there briefly, where human nature kind of is that we feel a bit better, and then we might have a bit of ice cream, or we might do this, we might do that. Um, when you dispense tablets, and please say this in your own opinion or whatever scientific information there is, and you give the individual a course of pills for a month, and after 2 weeks they feel good and they stop taking those pills. What generally is there any scientific evidence behind that or any information that says, the you build resistance in terms of
Ah,
you know what I'm trying to get at? Is that
yep, yep,
the
yep.
virus will come back stronger, or because you haven't killed it off first, or whatever it is. So, what is your take on that?
Okay. Oh boy. All right. So let's talk about because this is in general terms, of course. We're talking about viruses, bacteria, and things like that. And there's always a tradition that you take it for so many days, because if not, uh, if you don't get rid of it completely, then it will come back again,
Yeah,
right? So I don't take antibiotics. I don't take antiviral medications. I don't take anything like that. And the reason is because over the years, what I've found out is if you just strengthen your own immune system, it will definitely get rid of the problem. For example, viruses. Now, viruses are part of the human genome. We have more bugs in our body than the human cells. So bacteria, viruses, every single thing are inside our body. Only thing that we need to do is to enhance our immune system. Once the immune system gets enhanced, it will automatically suppress all the infections out of your body, right? So let's see if we take it for one day, 3 days antibiotics, right? Instead of taking for 10 days, you take 3 days and the infection goes away or the symptoms goes away. But then in those 3 days, you have done everything possible to hold up your immune system. Guess what? I will tell you to stop the medication.
right.
Every scientist research will tell you don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't do that, right? Me personally, I'll take the least amount of pills ever. And by the way, I'm in a pharmacy every single day, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'll tell you, don't come to my pharmacy because I hate to give you pills. I
Okay.
I like to find out solutions above and beyond what's out there that can help us, right? Now, viruses is very funny. Viruses are intracellular. And intracellular viruses, there's no cure for it. Like, for example, if you get a shingles, right? If you get shingles and it's painful, right? And all the antiviral treatments you give them for 10 to 14 days or 21 days, it becomes dormant. It doesn't get rid of it. It just becomes dormant. You never get rid of it, right? And so if that's the case, what can I do to help build the immune system so strong, so fast that it will deal with its own problems? And
Yeah.
so that was my first trial was on shingles patients with glutathione.
And
That's
it
what
was,
we did.
it was a positive outcome.
Yeah. Well, within a day or two, it's the patients were had no pain. The shingles was the symptoms were subsiding. The body took over. The immune system was strong enough to deal with the viruses. You never get rid of it, but guess what? The body puts it in check immediately, and within a day or two, they had no problems, no medication whatsoever. So that is possible. Now, the other part of the whole equation, which you're asking me, is let's see if somebody has a blood pressure issue
Yeah,
and they give you 30-day pills. The pills are not actually doing anything other than reducing your blood pressure down. And if you start taking the pill, the pressure comes right back up again. So it's not solving the problem, it's just controlling the symptoms.
right.
And the symptom of blood pressure is why? Is it because you have too much water in your blood? Is it because your heart's beating so fast? What's the actual cost? If you know the actual cause, or no, not cost, cause,
Yeah,
if you know the actual cause of the problem, then let's attack the cause, not the symptom.
yes,
Blood pressure is a symptom. Rising sugar levels is a symptom. Too much cholesterol is a symptom. Where is it coming from?
yeah.
Is what I need to find out. If I can find that portion out, I can fix that part and not take the pills for the rest of your life. Because I hate taking pills. I hate taking pills.
Do you think then, Dr. Nayan, that, we talk about simplicity of life, and I know you mentioned there, like, if you kind of reduce your kind of expenses and you have certain good foods and good lifestyle, but the reality of the situation is we're probably all working 24/7 and we're probably all exhausted. So that's when we come to your solution. You know what I mean? So I'm on your website here now. I want to pronounce it correctly. Is it aurowellness.com?
Yes, aurobonus.com. Yeah.
So, the product that you have there, I mean, it's going to be a bit of a tongue twister here, and hopefully you can kind of explain it. It said fusion of Auro's multi-patented sub-nano absorption. So what does sub-nano mean? For like an idiot like myself, what does that mean?
So most of the people talk about nanotechnology, nanotechnology products. So your skin is a physical barrier. Nothing gets into your skin, nothing, right? Because the membrane, the the size between the two cells is less than 1 nanometer.
Right.
And nothing is less than the 1 nanometer, so nothing gets to your skin. You can put yourself in the water, and the water will just be outside, never gets inside the skin, right? In fact, if it's too salty, it'll take the water out of your body to get you dehydrated. But that's a whole different story. But anyways, nothing gets inside your body. So our technology, what we did was we reduced the size to under 1 nanometer to get through your skin. So it's a topical product. It gets to your skin, right? And so that's our first technology. We have about 8 patents right now. That's one of the patents on reducing particle size and getting through your skin. The bigger issue is that the cell is a chemical barrier. The skin is a physical barrier, so size matters. The cell is a chemical barrier. Size has nothing to do with it,
Right.
right? It's a
Yeah.
lock and key system. If you have the right key, you can open the lock. The wrong key, and you now open the lock, right? And
Yep.
so I had to find the right key for the lock. And so that's my second technology that we discovered. We had to figure out coding around the glutathione molecule that the cells wanted, which is dextrose, which is sugar. The cells want sugar, but I can't give you straight sugar because that's going to gives you diabetes and insulin problems. So I had to create a complex sugar that doesn't do any of those things, but yet the cell will accept it. And inside the sugar, I stuffed it with glutathione.
Right. And
So
and
that
with the spray itself,
uh-huh.
I mean, I have the looking at the wonderful products that are here, but how do you spray it on your neck? Do you spray it on your leg, or is it specifically sprayed onto an area that has known issues, or how does that work?
You can do both. You can apply to the area that have known issues. But if you have no issues like me, I have no issues whatsoever. So I apply on my arms and my belly, doesn't matter. We have done 2 trials. One was on applying the arms, and the results were same as applying on the belly. And so as long as you use non-hairy part of the body, you can apply anywhere in the body, except for the palms and the bottom of the feet. The absorption to those is very poor.
Right.
Everywhere else is no problem. Absorption is not an issue whatsoever.
And can this be a benefit to, say, people that have like maybe skin issues or skin problems?
Oh yeah, because skin's the largest organ. Skin has the highest, well, the second highest oxidative stress is your skin. The first is your brain. Brain takes all the oxygen from the air that you breathe in, and the highest amount of oxidative stress is in your brain. So if you have mental fog, sleep issues, anxiety, depressions, trauma on your brain, they have a lot of oxidative stress. So this thing will bring it down for sure. The second part is is your skin, right?
Yeah.
Especially your face. Face is the highest amount of oxidative stress. Again, if you apply on your arms, it will still get to your face. But if you apply to the face directly, then the oxidative stress in your face gets the first handle in it, and then it goes inside for the rest of the body.
Right. And just so I have the right terminology, because I don't want to be an idiot with this one. So, as as it is a spray, is it regarded as a medicine, or is it regarded as a topical solution? Or how is
Yeah,
it kind of promoted into the
categorized.
world?
So it is categorized in different ways in different parts of the world. In the US, we are using it as a topical glutathione solution, and we sell them as a cosmetic product
Okay.
because it's a topical. In the US, if it's a topical cosmetic product, then we can't make any claims. So if you look at the box doesn't say anything.
Right. Okay.
This is glutathione. That's all it says on the box. It says glutathione only. It doesn't say anything else on it. But people do understand what glutathione is. They know what the benefits are. And so that's how it's been sold in the US. In other parts of the world, we have the same exact packaging. We don't make any claims.
Right.
And so that's how we are currently selling into other parts of the world as well.
And is this available in Ireland for any listeners in Ireland, just in case they're jumping out of their seats right now to try and find
Um,
this product? Because it's always like
yeah,
anything else. It's like when you hear something, especially
yes,
on you might not hear it on kind of the main kind of media, so to speak, and you listen to podcasts like this, you're kind of like, what the hell is this stuff? I never heard
yeah,
this before. I mean, is it
I
available
know.
in most countries?
It is available in a lot of countries in the EU, but not all of them.
Right.
Some of the countries are not accepting this product. Like, for example, Germany doesn't take this product, doesn't allow us to ship into Germany, so we don't ship to Germany. Ireland, I think we do. I think we just have to put it on the website, and if the address pops up and you can ship it to you, then you're golden. I know we ship to UK all the time, so I know for a fact that we do ship to UK. So I'm assuming that Ireland is going to be okay as well.
I was reading, Dr. Nyan, that I think there was a recent article you did in was it British Vogue? And there
Yeah.
was there was something about, I mean, are the celebrities jumping on board this type of stuff? Are they? Are they loving this? To stay
Well, the
younger.
thing is, the celebrities have been on board for the last 15 plus years with us.
Right.
But most celebrities would not say out in open because they don't want anybody to know what they're doing.
Yes.
So they don't speak up at all. And if they do speak up, they usually come with a lot of strings attached, a lot of money to be made. So they want a
Yes.
lot of money for it. And I can't afford to pay them because if I pay them, I'll raise my prices on everybody else. So it's not fair. It's a very expensive product to begin with. It requires I brought the manufacturing in-house because it was too expensive for us to make it outside. So I put a whole manufacturing plant in California, the toughest state in the United States to put a manufacturing plant by FDA. So it's not easy to do that. So we did that part because in California we have abound beyond the federal laws. We have state laws which are even stricter than the federal laws,
Right.
which
Okay.
is the in California, any liquid, anything that you are claiming as a cosmetic or a vitamin product has to be pure, 100% pure. You cannot have any chemicals inside, heavy metals especially, that causes cancer. And if it does, then we have to put a label that this product can cause cancer. Oh my
Right.
God. Nobody's going to buy this product, right?
No.
And so we put the plant in California to make sure that we adhere with the strictest regulations in the world, so to speak.
So how long would I'm just as I'm just on your website here being nosy, how long would a 30 ml or a 1 fluid ounce of glutathione bottle last for an average
It's a
person, for example?
it's a 30-day supply for almost 99% of the population. Uh, so because you're going to use four sprays twice a day, and unfortunately you cannot compare with any of the products in the world. This product in terms of dosaging, because what we had found out is what your body's actual needs are on a daily basis for a healthy human being. And what we found is four sprays, if you're healthy, that's all you need twice a day, every day, every day. Now, I'm very healthy, so I use four sprays twice a day, but I travel a lot.
Right,
I every week I'm somewhere lecturing, presenting, exhibiting, conferencing everywhere. Every week I'm someplace outside. So if I fly, if I travel, if I stay in a hotel room, uh, then I'll use 12 sprays twice a day. So one bottle will only last me 10 days.
right,
But only that's only if I travel. But if I don't travel, four sprays twice a day is more than enough for me,
right.
right? And so, as you can imagine, the celebrities that I work with, I'm in Southern California. We're in Hollywood,
Yeah.
right? And I have a lot
Don't
of
na
clients.
don't name drop now. No name
No,
dropping.
no, I don't. I would not. I would not. Uh, the Hollywood stars are. The thing is, they don't know. They could be one day in Hollywood, the next day could be in Toronto, the third day could be in UK or Ireland, or the fourth day they could be in Brazil.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they're traveling all over the world because they're having multiple shoots going on all the time. Their stress level is extremely high. And so, as you can imagine, their needs are very high.
Yes.
Uh, and some of them, they don't drink alcohol at all, which is, thank God. It really helps them. Helps me manage them better.
Yes.
But most of other people, they drink, they smoke, and they enjoy life. Uh, and their needs are very, very high. Their needs are extremely high. Last year, in fact, we were invited to go to the Grammys Award. And so this was part of the gift bag for all the people that performed
Right.
on the stage. Everybody got a bag of glutathione from them, from
Wow.
us. And so they all got these things. And I talked to everybody that's out there. I talked to everybody that performed on the stage and behind the scenes. I met the CEO of Grammys and everybody else. I met all those people, right? Guess what? Nobody knew what glutathione is.
Yeah, I'm
Nobody.
not surprised. I don't mean that to be bad, but I'm not surprised because it's amazing. It's if it is such a wonderful secret and it does give you kind of the fountain of youth, so to speak,
Yeah.
you're not going to tell anybody.
And the thing is, nobody knew about this thing. I was so shocked. I
Yeah.
had one a performer from Nigeria. I'm sure you guys know who these guys are, but he goes, "Is this going to detoxify all my marijuana?" I said, "No, sir. No, sir. It's not going to help you do that part. It's going to
No.
detoxify the chemicals that your lungs are exposed to because of marijuana, but not the marijuana itself. So
Right.
please don't smoke if you don't have to."
I would suggest anybody listening to look at the British Vogue .co.uk article with Dr. NAYAN in it, because when I clicked on the page, there's a famous lady there on the front cover. And I kind of went, okay, what's this all about? It was like one of these kind of like, clickbait. And then it kind of gave a little insight that this individual allegedly takes this stuff as well. I'm not going to say who the person is, but
Okay.
is what you call it. I was like, wow. I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to start this stuff tomorrow.
So here's the thing, right? 25 years ago, I was the pharmacist that brought glutathione injectable in the United States.
Right.
So as you can imagine, and I used to do training classes to train doctors on how to inject glutathione into the United States. And I've trained, I don't know, thousands and thousands of doctors all over the country and set up shop for them to do IV therapies with glutathione. And every every celebrity that you can think of, every members of the White House and the Congress and every senators has been a client of ours.
Wow.
Uh, using this product. Well, not this product, but the intravenous form. Not from me, of course not, but from the clinics all over the world, all over the country. I have people coming in from India and UK and Dubai and everybody else coming to the United States to get the treatments done all the time. And so these, it's been there available, but this particular technology, the topical version, is far more superior than the IV version has ever been. And now you can do this at home twice a day, every day. It is by far the most important thing that anybody can do to change your life.
So all you have to do is just blink. You don't have to blink. Has a Terminator visited your office? Wink, wink. We'll say nothing. Wink, wink. Okay. Former
From the
Governor
future,
Schwarzenegger. Sorry, sorry.
from the future or the past, right?
From
I
the
don't know.
past. We'll say nothing. The former governor will say nothing. Okay, wink, wink. Okay.
Former governor. But the thing is, he is going through some medical challenges himself, from dialysis issues. I met him about 4 or 5 years ago at one of the conferences. He was a keynote speaker at the major conferences. It was at the anti-aging conference in Las Vegas. He was there. I was on the stage as well, and but he was a keynote speaker, of course. People came to see him, not me, of course. Yeah,
But he's
yeah,
such an inspiration. I love watching him. I know it's a kind of side topic, but grew up watching Terminator movies and all that type of stuff. And he has a love of animals. He has donkeys and stuff like that. And I just
yeah.
find that anybody that likes animals is a friend of mine, which is really really good.
Yes.
Um, Sidetrack. Sorry about that. Anybody listening, it was nothing to do with what we're talking about today, but I just wanted to intervene. Generally, you also had time just before we go. You had time. I don't know how you get time to write the author of the book of the Glutathione Revolution.
Yes.
And how long
So,
did that take you?
well, I started the process in 2007. When I first discovered the molecular glutathione, I said, you know what? I started looking up all the books in the world. I have some books behind me. I can see some of the books over there, but I have every book that's written on glutathione in my office today.
Wow.
Every single book, because I wanted to see what everybody else is saying, right? And I found out is everybody's trying to go into the science of glutathione, which is okay, which is great, all the chemical reactions, but it did not give any good solution to humans, or to people like you and me that, hey, I just want to know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I don't know everything. I just want to know what to do with it, right? And nothing was like that. So I said, you know what? I did not plan to write the book, by the way. I did not plan to write the book. I started collecting data. I started collecting information and data. And then when it comes to 2015, I said, I had so much data. I said, you know what? I should put this in the book. And so that's what I did pretty much. So it took me, I started collecting data since 2007. I actually started writing the book on 2015. And by 2019, the book was completed. 4 years later, the book was completed. And then the publisher literally hired, I think, about 13 people or 14 people. And they wanted to do a fact check on every single thing that I wrote. They
Wow.
want they want to basically do a cross checking, making sure everything is correct, the science is sound, everything that I said is referenced out, and all those things were there. It's not that the consumer doesn't care, but the doctors do.
Yeah.
So I was writing the book for dual purposes. For consumer to feel good that, hey, there's a solution for their problems today, and that there's a way they can live a long, healthy life without having to suffer from diseases. But the doctor says, wait a second, I believe what you say, but show me the proof. And
Yeah.
so I had to fully reference every single thing out. So if there are doctors in the audience listening to me today, my book is, if you go in the back of the book, every single thing I say in every chapter is fully referenced. Look at those articles and you can get your answers.
And where can you get this book, Dr.
Oh,
Nguyen?
everywhere, right? You can get an audio version, a digital version, a print version. I'm an old school kind of guy, so I like print copies better. Um, Trust me, I don't make any money off of that one, so you're not going to make me feel worse or bad if you buy the cheapest version that's out there. So please find the cheapest thing you can get and read it, borrow it if some from somebody if you have to. But it's a very easy read and it's going to give you intense amount of hope. And I'll tell you one thing, you can conquer the world if you just have hope.
No, you're brilliant. I have to say, I love talking to guests like yourself. All this type of stuff is quite new to me. It's fascinating. I'll be doing more research on this as the days and months proceed. Where is the best place? I'm obviously looking at your website, aurowellness.com. You have the
Yep.
shop there, you have information, you have the contact information. Where's the best place to get in touch with you?
Oh, on the website, there's a contact person name on there. That email will go out to my secretary. And if it's something that I need to answer the call, the email will forward it to me directly. My assistant is also a physician, is an MD. So between him and I, will be answering, between the two of us, we answer each and every call.
Brilliant. One last question before we go.
Uh-huh.
This is probably off topic. If you couldn't be a pharmacist or do any of
Mm.
your research, what would you've always wanted to be? What was a dream of yours that you wish maybe you could have fulfilled and you haven't done it yet? Is there anything that you haven't done
Oh,
yet?
I have not done it yet. Okay. So, by the way, just to let you know, I grew up in Africa, and so my dream was always being into space.
Oh, wow. Okay. You
Right.
still have time. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So my thing was always in space. So my major when I came to the United States was physics and math. I was in aerospace engineering school.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't know
And
that
then
now. That's a bombshell. Okay. Continue.
yeah, so that was my background. That's when I started my education. And so I quickly pivoted to chemistry because I took a class in organic chemistry, and my professor says, "You're so natural at critical thinking. You should join chemistry program." And so that's what I did. And so I said, this thing comes very natural to you. You'll be an amazing person if you just take the organic chemistry sections out. You can create all kinds of medications in the world in the future. Because really, I had no idea what I could become, right? So I listened to my professor and changed a career to become a pharmacist. Yep.
And
He
do
was
you,
disappointed. He was disappointed though, because guess what I did? As soon as he told me, I got accepted to another university, and I quit my undergrad program. And he wanted to work with him on his research project.
oh dear. Okay. Is there tension there?
Oh no, of course not. He was happy for me. He was so happy for me, but he was sad uh, that I got picked up very, very fast.
So I think there's a little shout out here now to Mr. Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. You want to go into space? There's a probably a complimentary bottle of glutathione, which will be sent your way if you get us up on that SpaceX
A
or
lifetime
Virgin.
supply, a lifetime supply.
Like, there you go. So they'll be on the phone very quickly, I'm sure. That's amazing, though. No, I think it's fascinating because it's nice to hear that, with everything you've done and the journey you've had, that there's still something there you would have liked to do, and you still could do it.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, the more I do every single thing, I remember that it's not the destination, it's the journey.
Yeah.
And I got to enjoy the journey every single day. And I don't take things for granted anymore. I love my time with you today. I love the conversations today. I hope I can impact some lives. I've impacted millions of lives across the globe, and I want to keep on doing that until the last breath I have, because my real source of energy comes from people they have used the product and have transformed their lives. I
No.
don't go to any conferences where I don't get stopped and people come up to me and said, "Hey, this thing has changed my life."
Yeah.
And that's what I live up. That's my fuel, right? Everybody needs a fuel to survive. That's my fuel to survive, is I'm impacting lives all over the world.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. I mean, I've been really enjoyed the conversation today. If anybody wants to get in touch with Dr. NAYAN, it's aurowellness.com. There's a contact page. I'll put all the links in once the podcast has been approved and released. And don't forget Mr. Jeff Bezos and Mr. Elon Musk. There's still one or two seats available to get this gentleman into space. Let's get it
And
going.
and also Richard Sir Branson.
Oh, yes, Sir Branson as well. Sorry about that. Yeah, I
Please
do
don't forget
apologize.
him.
Who else
Yes.
have we any more, have we? There's a couple, isn't there? There's a few now that are all fighting for space at the moment, but
Yeah.
we'll get you up there somehow, we will, like, But
Yes.
do you think, I mean, realistically, with everything you've done, do you think it's possible to get into space? I'll be honest. I mean, do you think because technology is advancing so much, and you've already mentioned previously that originally it was injected,
Yes.
and now you have it as a spray. And it just shows in that space of time. I always said it to individuals. I always like my mum has she has glaucoma now, and years ago
Huh?
that would have been a big problem. But now they have the technologies advanced, the medicines advanced, they have different procedures.
Yes.
So do you think there's an option that you're going to go to space? I think you will.
Oh gosh, if you just think about it, it's already happening.
Yes.
The connection has already been made, and that's why I always like to verbalize things, because once the words get out of my mouth that I want to go to space, somebody's already listening,
Yes.
right?
Oh,
And the
definitely.
vibration will get to the right people eventually. Will get there because guess what? For us, space is so far out that it's you think that you never get there.
Hmm.
The same time you get to the space and the same distance that you get to the space is the same distance it goes from your skin to the intracellular levels to the
That's amazing.
mitochondria. It's the same thing, right? Because
Yeah.
nobody can get there.
No.
No, nothing can get there. There's no medicine they can get there. And so I already conquered going inside.
Yep.
Now I just want to conquer going outside.
So you have to promise me now, Dr. Nayan, when you do go to space and they offer you the position that you listen to this podcast as you're reaching 6 to 8 minutes, 6 to 8 minutes into aerospace being blasted like who knows what, being strapped to a seat. But yeah, no, it's been an absolute joy talking to you today, and the podcast will be released very shortly on the Wellbeing Career podcast. So thanks so much to Dr. Nayan Patel. Thank you.
Thank you.